Yes, Sparta also had curses, and one of the most well-known involves King Leonidas' family. Now, King Leonidas is famous for leading the 300 Spartans against the Persians during the Battle of Thermopylae, seen in the movie 300, and as you guys know, he died. And his nephew, Pausanias, became the next regent of Sparta. And this dude made things difficult for Sparta during the Persian Wars. Like his uncle Leonidas, Pausanias was also seen as a war hero, and his claim to fame was during the Battle of Plataea during the same Persian Wars. Now, due to his awesome performance in this battle, Sparta actually put Pausanias in charge of the Delian League. The Delian League was what Athens, Sparta, and all of their allies just called the group that they formed against the Persian Wars. And a Spartan was usually in charge of it due to Sparta being the best fighters. But none of the allies ended up liking Pausanias because he was so strict, as all Spartans are. He would hit people with sticks, he would humiliate them, and so they ended up sending him away back to Sparta. Now, the Delian League knew that Sparta wasn't going to accept Pausanias back on the grounds that he simply wasn't liked. He was a war hero, and he was good at his job. So the Delian League ended up forming a rumor about Pausanias, saying that he was talking to the Persians. That was an obvious lie, and Sparta knew that, but they still held a trial, and he was found innocent. But, just to be safe, they stripped him of his military titles and command, which you can probably guess that Pausanias was not a fan of. So Pausanias said, fine, if you want to treat me like a Medizing tyrant, then I will be a Medizing tyrant. So he ended up stealing a trireme, which was a Greek warship from Sparta, where he's from, right there, and he sailed all the way up there to Sestos, and he took over the land and became a tyrant. But that's not where it gets bad. Whenever he was tyrant at Sestos, he started Medizing, and that's what it was called whenever you started dressing Persian, talking to Persians, and acting like a Persian. So now Pausanias was a genuine Persian threat. He looked like them, acted like them, and was in cahoots. And that did not last very long at all, because the second that the Delian League found out about it, they ended up sailing to Sestos and taking Pausanias all the way back to Sparta. And this time for real, Pausanias was on trial. Sparta was still really torn on what to do with him. On one hand, he was a war hero and greatly valued as a king, and on the other hand, he was now actually a traitor. And while Sparta was trying to figure out what to do with this man, Pausanias ended up going to the goddess of the Brazen House, which was sort of a place where people would worship the goddess Athena. It was sacred ground, and so he ended up taking sanctuary there in case Sparta wanted to convict him. Because as we know, you cannot kill someone on sacred grounds or the gods will be mad at you. In this case, Athena. So the Spartans ended up finding a way around this, and their way around killing someone in a temple was putting walls all surrounding the temple and essentially locking him in there. They took off the roof in order to be able to communicate with him, but that was it. He wasn't getting out, and they starved him to death. So Sparta sacrilegiously starved someone on sacred ground, and the Oracle of Delphi told them that, declaring the curse of the Brazen House.